to our Sunday Gita course. So, whenever devotees come together, that place transforms into a spiritual world. God saying, Yatra Gayanti Manputra Tatra Narada. Oh Narada, I don't stay in some particular place. I stay wherever my devotees come together and chant the holy names of the Lord. And that's why, whatever the situation it could be, whether it's auspicious or inauspicious, or whatever time, place, and circumstances, there could be some imperfections, there could be some inefficiencies. But whenever we chant the holy names of the Lord, that place is transformed to the spiritual world. Yes, people perform so many rituals, so many yajnas, so many elaborate deity worship. But we try to get something out of it. But whatever we do, it has to be done perfectly. If you don't do it perfectly, you don't get the result. And not only perfectly, but it has to be done completely. You know, if you don't do it completely, you cannot get the result. But then, whatever way, wherever, however we do, there is always some imperfections. That's why most of the Yajnas, most of the Buddhas, they sing this very beautiful mantra. Mantratas tantratas chitram desakalarhavastutam sarvam karoti nischitram anusankirtanam tava. Yes, whatever mantra and tantra that we might do, there will be always some inconveniences, imperfections based on time, place, and circumstances. देश काल पात्र के हिसाब से कुछ ना कुछ तो गलतियां हो जाता है. But then our Acharya is saying that sarvam karoti nischidram. All the imperfections are taken away and they are removed when anusankirtanam tava. When we chant, when we recite the Nam, Rupa, Guna, Lila. When we chant the name, form, pastimes, qualities of the Lord, everything gets perfect. That's why we always chant this mantra. Om apavitro va pavitro va sarvam nishtha yes mare pundarikaksa sa vayha vyantara suchi. Whether it's an auspicious place, inauspicious place. Just by remembering the name of Lord Hari, Pundarikaksha, whose eyes are like lotus petal, Pundarikaksha, Sabaya Vyantara Suchi. Everything becomes Suchi. Everything becomes perfect. So, yes, we are thankful, we are grateful to all of you that all of you have come together to discuss some beautiful pastimes, to understand some principles from Bhagavad Gita. So, anybody would like to say what we have discussed so far? I know last 2 weekends we had a detour, we had some Ram Katha, we had some Krishna Katha, because of Vijayadashami and also this auspicious Damodar month which is started today. So before that we had 4 sessions. The first session we had something called searching for happiness. In the second session we had, is it a perfect solution or is it a patch-up solution? In the third session we had like, okay, why there is a suffering. And then fourth session, we talked about how to surf through the suffering. And based on the first and second chapter. Anybody remembers one or two points like to share? Yes. Anybody would like to say? What do you remember from those sessions? Yes. Anybody can?
Hare Krishna. I think we have gone through a lot of lessons the previous classes. So one thing that stays in my mind is Bhagavad Gita is not a patch-up solution; it's a perfect solution, and that we need for our day-to-day activities and how the practical lessons that we can learn from the Gita.
Bhagavad Gita contains eternal things, contains eternal, universal, practical principles that we can really apply it in our life. You know? These are not like some theoretical principles or that was really there as a mythology. This is not mythology. This is not mithya. This is historical, and how we learn from that Mahabharata, from the Kurukshetra battle, that Duryodhana did everything. Huh? Get a lot of this management expertise, but then he even didn't care to count Lord Krishna. And then how Arjuna, right, right, he had so much of faith in Krishna, not only as a friend, but as a spiritual master. He approached him that Karpanya Doso Pahato Sukha. We were discussing at that point of time that whoever we may be, we need somebody to guide us. That's what I said. But if we say that I know all, that is the greatest impediment for our growth. So at no point of time that we think that a author does not need an editor or a sportsman doesn't need a coach. Similarly, once we are in the spiritual journey, we need somebody who understands, who has really walked that path, and who can really show us that path. Very good. Thank you. Anybody else? Yes. Very good. Right. We discussed about that. The cause of suffering, the primary cause of the suffering is our attachment to the fruits. Whenever there is some action we do, like a student, before writing even the IIT exam, he still thinks of that, okay, in which flight I should go to US, and which city I should stay, how much package I should earn, and then somehow or other, because of some reason or other reason, because of our imperfections or Lord's plan, it doesn't happen, then we get end of my life. Right? That's what we see. That how so many unfortunate situation happens, like in Kota, IITs, so many big institutes. There is so much suicide happening. These are the premier institutes. They have worked so hard, but why? Why there is so much of uh, dissatisfaction within their heart? Very good. Anybody else? Yes.
Love, creed, and anchor are linked.
Yes, very nice. We always think that we are the gateway of India, and we would really like to know. So that okay, these are the areas, these are the gates, right? Whenever we think that, uh, whenever you come across, like we also discuss, especially out of these three, which is really the most dangerous, or which is the seed? Anybody remembers? We talked about out of the lust, greed, and anger. Where does it start? Lust. Very good. Very good. So once we have this lust, right? If it gets satisfied, then we get more greed. Oh, I want more. Dil mange more. Right? But if it doesn't get satisfied, right? And then we end up in being angry. Right? So yes, the root cause is the lust. The root cause is the attachment. But somehow it gets manifested in different ways. And this lust, greed, and anger sits in different senses. our eyes, ears, nose, tongue, just like in a house. In a house, we know that these are the gates through which thief may enter, a robber may enter. So what do? We ensure that they are locked properly. We ensure that they are lighted properly. If it is dark, what happens? There is a great chance that thief will say, "Oh, this is the way I need to enter," because nobody can see me. But if it is lightened and lightened, thief would not dare. Now, similarly, the Lord is saying that these enemies they sit in our senses. Once we sufficiently enlighten our senses through the scriptures, to the Guru, Sadhu, and Shastras, right? They know to whom we should make them entry and to whom we should really lock the door. Because most of the times people don't have that discrimination power. They don't know what is right and wrong. That's why, oh, please come, please come. Oh, you want to eat somewhere? Oh, go and eat it. Just do it. Do it, buddy. Don't worry. Right? Just chill. Right? We don't understand what is the consequence. We don't understand through which we are getting succumbed to. Once kind of the thief enters, you ask them, oh, okay, please come, please come. We think that they are the best friend. We just give the complete autonomy of our body. You do whatever you want. And the main culprit is our mind. Yes. These are the sessions where we learn who is our friend, who is our enemy. These are the sessions where we come together to understand that yes, there is a soul. We are the soul, right? And somehow or other, right, we have received this human body, which is so valuable. Right? And this body is valuable, very valuable. Durlabha Manusya Janma. Okay, like this body is Durlabha. It's very precious, very rare. And it is mentioned that we should not use our time and energy just like animals. And there are 4 animals our Bhagavad our scripture talks about. How we should not use our body like these 4 animals. So be Baraha, Ushtra, Hari. It talks about dog, donkey, camel, and pig. Very gross. It says that we should not peak. Who doesn't discriminate what to eat, what not to eat. Very gross, very heavy. But sometimes, like I said that, Shastras, sometimes they speak as a friend. Oh, buddy, you should do like this, in a very friendly tone. Sometimes they, speak like a teacher, with a very disciplined, strong. You should do it. You must do it. And sometimes, the Shastra speaks like a lover. Oh, my sweet mind, why you are going again and again to that very spot? Right? And depending on the circumstances, just like a parent to a child. Sometimes they are heavy, right? Sometimes they are sweet, right? Depending on what we um, kind of will work to that child at that moment of time. Okay, thank you very much. So yes, we talked about so many wonderful principles, right? So this is what we discussed, right? How we need to really inquire about the absolute truth, and then how we need to really connect to the Supreme Lord. Then we talked about the chapter 1, and we talked about the Gita also, right? Especially how the 4 principles we learned, right? So, GITA, and that yes, we are not all in all. There's a God in control, This body is not all in all. There's a soul exists, and this lifetime is not all in all. Many more lifetimes exist, and this material world is not all in all. Spiritual world exists. Everybody remembers this? We had talked about this in our third session, right? And we also talked about right, especially how we can really surf through the suffering. We should not, if there is a problem in our life, we should not aggravate that problem by complaining, criticizing, uh, by critic about it. And at the same time, we should do the needful. We should really go to the right doctor, right hospital, eh, and take the right medicines. We should do the needful. And at that point of time, we should do our best. It might not be the best, but we should do our best. And also at that point, once you take the medicine, doesn't happen that we get cured, no, immediately. It takes its own time, right? And also, it's not that everything is not in doctor's hand. No, at the end, doctor also says, yes, my duty is to give medicines, but there is somebody else who really takes in charge. Because two persons, you might have seen in during COVID also, two persons from the same family and having the COVID take the same medicine, but one goes to the hospital and returns, another person doesn't return. Right? Why? Because there is somebody else in the control. Huh? Right? And then we have to wait for that cure. Huh? At the same time, right? Now, once you are getting cured, how we need to extend our hand to others. Okay, so now let's go to the next topic. Like we talked about, like we discussed in Bhagavad Gita, there are 5 topics are there. This is something called Iswara, Jiva. So we talked about Iswara, like how the Supreme Lord exists, how there is an arrangement, how there is, this world is a perfect design, right? Nothing happens by chance. And then we talk about Jiva, then, how anybody remembers? We gave so many reasons how there is a soul. Anybody remembers? Reincarnation, we talked about the body experience, near death experience, we talked about that also, that video also, that joy, right? How people remember the past life, right? We talked about Iswara, we talked about Jiva, right? And there are other 3 topics are there to be discussing Kala, Karma, and Prakriti. And today we are discussing, right, the most interesting and also not so easy topic to understand, which is called karma. Okay, so because God even says in Bhagavad Gita, "Kahana Karmanagati," this karma is very difficult to understand. Of course, we'll try to make it little simple so that all of us can really understand it. But you'll come to know that why it is so complex. Okay, before going there, let's discuss something interesting. That everywhere we see that there is so much uniqueness all over, right? There is somebody who is so fabulously, filthy rich, and somebody is so poor. Somebody is so handsome, and somebody might not be. Somebody is so strong and healthy, and somebody might be so weak and handicapped. Somebody might be born, with a silver spoon, they say, and somebody might be on the street. Like somebody might be so intelligent, somebody might not have so high IQs. Why there are so much of disparities in the world? Why? Why it is so? Why it is so? Is it by chance? Is it by chance that something happened? Just like you dice a cube, right? You get something. So similarly, somebody comes with comes up with a very rich parent, or somebody with a strong body, or somebody having a very high IQ. What do you think? Because of our actions, okay, past actions, okay. But and sometimes we might think, why not kind of, so many people they are enjoying life, and why I only have to suffer? And sometimes what is unfair? Will you feel so sometimes? Huh? Then it is not right, like what you said just now. right? It's not, that, right? Because most of the times we think that, by chance, you see, this person, he's doing so many nonsense things, but still, he's so rich, he's, having so much of opulence. We always ask these questions. Why bad things happen to good people? And why good things happen to bad people? And do you ask these questions? है ना? And most of the times, अब छोड़ो, है ना? ठीक है, हमारे जिंदगी में जो लिखा है वही होना है, right? है ना? And then we just leave it to the destiny, right? Is it true that nothing is in our hand? There are so many questions that comes to our mind. Did you get answer to that at any point of time? What do you say so? Hmm? Or sometimes we think that, oh, नहीं, ऊपर बनाने वाला ना थोड़ा सा, he's autocratic, he does whatever he wants. He's really unfair, especially to me. For others, he's very fair, right? Maybe, I don't know, but he's completely impartial. Does it happen? Do you think like that? Huh? Yes, I see so many heads nodding. Right? But then, we always say that, whenever, at least some of you or all of you might not have gone to court, right? At least, even in the so-called secular world, also they believe in Bhagavad Gita. Right? They believe the Bhagavad Gita is absolute truth. इसलिए गीता में जो रुक के बोलता हूँ, जो हाथ रुक के बोलता हूँ, जो सही बोलूँगा, right? I will tell the truth. That's why everybody understands the Gita is absolute truth. And in Bhagavad Gita, Lord is saying that, what is saying? No? Suhrudam sarva bhutanam. I am the well-wisher of everybody. Right? Lord is saying, I am the well-wisher of everybody. And he also says that, there's one more verse. He says, I am equal to all. Samaham sarva bhutesu. What is he saying? Samaham sarva bhutesu. I am equal to all. It's hajam nahi ho raha hai, na? Lord is saying he is a well-wisher to all. Lord is saying that I am equal to all. But then why there is so much a disparity? Can anybody answer it? Or is Lord telling something like it? Or why there is a contradiction? Then why there is so much of discrimination here? Why? One side there is so heavy, on one side, other side they say, so light. Why always, he gets always good things. Sometimes the siblings also, they feel, oh, दीदी को ही सब कुछ क्यों इतना प्यार मिलता है ना? घर पे किसी का झगड़ा होता है भाई बहन के, you feel that? You feel that? Oh, दीदी को ही इतना प्यार मिलता है, मेरे को कुछ नहीं मिलता है. And then especially the elder ones, they feel that, oh, जब से ये छोटा भाई या छोटा बहन आया ना, उसके ही पापा को इसके ही प्यार कर, मेरे को ठीक है. But how many parents, all of your parents here, do you have the discrimination? But why the children, they feel like that? Why they feel like that? Or let me give one more example. Like in a court, right, whether in a Supreme Court or High Court, right? Sometimes the judge awards rigorous imprisonment, some death punishment, or maybe gives maybe 10 lakh as a fine to somebody, right? Or you put like a life sentence, right? And somebody, he gives huge reward, huge compensation. Why? Why does that judge do like this? Why? Why? Like so, for like for each and everything, we understand there is a cause, there is a effect, right? Something happened because of some cause. Right? For whatever suits us, or whatever kind of we like it, we bring that cause and effect. But whatever like is something really big, right? Oh, this world came by chance. Oh, out of the suffering I get, it came by chance, right? We don't attribute to some cause most of the times. You're getting my point, right? We don't like for if it is not applicable to us, then we say that because of when the kid comes, like either saying that oh my papa, mommy, stomach is paining. Then we ask this, okay, what you had like in the school or you had some problem, or like so there is some injury, right, in the hand or something. Oh, did you fight with somebody? Did you fell down? They always attribute to some cause, right? Isn't it? They always find out as a cause and effect, right? Uh, like it's not that like in the courtroom that George is playing favorites, right? It's not. As all of you said, there is one law, right? But based on what you deserve, right? You get the compensation accordingly. Either you get rewarded or you get punished, right? And similarly, right? Once you extend it to our life as well, we just now, did the acronym of GITA. This lifetime is not all in all. There are many more lifetimes exist. So similarly, now whatever we enjoy or suffer, not right, because something by chance, but because of the actions that we performed in the past. Are we okay so far? Okay. And this is also nothing new. In the science also we study. What is the Newton's third law of motion? Physics students? Every action has equal and opposite reaction. Right? Yes. This is the law of karma. This is the divine form of infallible justice. Right? So whatever goes up, that comes back. Right? And it has equal and opposite reaction. And this is very important for us now to us to realize that, right, we are responsible for whatever good and bad is really happening to us. Because most of the times, whenever some bad things happen to us, we say that why it happened to us. This is the same question we always ask: why it happened to us? Of course, like if somebody is really suffering, we cannot go back to him and say that, oh, because you had committed so much of sinful activity, that's what you're suffering. That's very insensitive. Right? We don't say like that. This karma principle is not to kind of do the backward analysis to really victimize somebody. This karma principle is to really change our future, to change our destiny. Right? This is very important for all of us to understand. Right? It's not to victimize somebody, not to blame somebody, not to blame some circumstances, and not to analyze the past. Right? But this karma principle is that okay, I have a choice, I have a free will now, I can change my future. It's not that everything is fixed. Right? People say that no, jo likha hai wohi ho. Last Sunday only, we talked about one principle. How many of you remember? We talked about something called karmavad, daivavad, and there is something that we learned from Damodar pastime. Anybody remembers? Please raise your hand. Anybody remembers? We talked about karmavad. We gave one example that somebody says that, oh, we get the fruit because of my karma, because of my effort. What is that example we said? That monkey, small monkey baby, right? How that monkey baby always attached the mother, right? And because of the baby's effort, the baby goes from one place to another place. That's called karma, right? That you take, right? Whatever I put it, I get the result. Right? If I do good, I do good. I get good. If I do bad, I do good. If I don't do something, I don't go there. But there is something called Daivavad. Daivavad means, oh, I don't have to do anything. Jo takdir mein likha hai, usi ko. And I don't have to do anything. We give that example of kitten, small cat, that being carried by the mother cat from one place to another place. The small cat doesn't have to do anything. That is another philosophy. There are two philosophies that people talk about. But as a Vaishnavas, as a person who are really loving God, we focus on third principle. What is that principle that we said? Anybody remembers now? Yes. What is that bhakti? What is that example we gave last time? Yes. Somebody is really, let's say, fallen on the deep dark well. Right? And at that point of time, you have to really call out, help, help, help. Once you call out that help, somebody is there, right, on the outside, and he really kind of says you a rope. He sends you a rope. And once that rope is being sent, what do you have to do? You have to just hold that rope. And once you hold that rope, then the person who is there outside, he can really pull you out. So what we discussed during our Damodar Lila pastime last Sunday is that how the phala comes through our prayas, through the prarthana, right? We call out for the mercy and we get the mercy. We call for the grace and we get the mercy. And then we get the phala. So it's not that only our endeavor, right, can really get us out of it. Right? Or it's not only that if a person sends the rope, but if we don't hold on to it, if we don't put our effort, we can come out of it. No, we have to follow. We have to do our work. Right? So it's called karma and daiva. Both are important. That's called endeavor and mercy. Endeavor from our side, mercy of the Lord. Is it clear? That this is a very, very important principle because most of the times, this is the most everybody's having. That we cannot change, what is really coming up next. No, we can change it. Lord has given us that free will to all of us. Okay, so no one suffers undeservedly, right? There is a divine justice, there is a divine law. That Krishna says, Karmana Deva Nitrena. We get a body based on what exactly we had done some karma or based on the Lord's plan. That's what Karmana Deva Nitrena. Under the supervision of the Lord, and according to our work, we get certain type of body. Right? So we get a body depends on two things. What is it? First is karma, and second is it clear or anyone have questions so far? Okay, thank you. And it is said in our scriptures that there are 8.4 million species of life, right, based on the different consciousness. Like so many varieties of species are there. Jalajana, Valakshani, it is mentioned that how the 9 lakh species of aquatics are there. There are 2 million stavaras, non-living entities like trees are there. Right, there's 1.1 million species of reptiles and insects are there, and 1 million species of birds are there, right? And 3 million, 3 million are different quadrupeds, different animals are there, and there are also once we talk about human beings also, as per their consciousness, they are also divided into 400,000, right? So yes, and Bhagavad Gita also it is mentioned. Please repeat after me. There's a very beautiful verse. Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam यजन्ति अन्ते कलैवरम् तं तं इवैति कन्तेया सदा तद्भावभाविता. So it is especially for the old days, right? For especially person who is about to die. It is mentioned that okay, last moment we should remember the Lord. It's called Ante Narayana Smriti. If you remember, let's say, a deer, in the next life we'll get a deer's body. If we remember, right, the Supreme Lord will go to the Supreme Abode. If we remember, right, some birds or a dog, we really get that body. That's what Bhagavad Gita says. Whatever the state of mind we have at the time of death, we get that kind of body. But is it possible that we, at the end of the life, we just think of something, we just forcefully think of the Lord and we'll go back to the Lord? It doesn't happen. Just like we cannot score 100 marks if we just study on the day of the exam. We have to study much before that. So similarly, right, to get remembrance of the Lord at the time of death, whole life, we have to really use our body, mind, and words in the service of the Lord. So the human life is, we have this higher intelligence, right? And this human life is called junction. Right? So from the lower species of life, we talk about this aquatics and animals and the birds. There is a natural progression that happens to come to the higher consciousness of life. And then in this human form of life, Now once again we have a choice. If you do good work, you really get elevated to the divine planets. And if you do bad work, you do the sinful work, we go back once again to the animal planets. Right? Are we aligned so far? So now my question is, so what is the law of karma? We just discussed. What is it? As you sow, so shall you reap. Right? So just to give a little bit more visual. We are able to follow, right? What goes around, that comes around. Right? Yes, it sounds funny, but yes, it is a very, very sober, very great. So we really understand. But then we might ask, right? Who is witnessing? Yes, who is really witnessing and who is really orchestrating? Who is doing the data analytics? Right? Who is really working on so much of data about this unlimited species? Right? Who is really managing that? Who is the chief data officer? Huh? Anybody have thought of that? Who is really driving that analytics? That and it is said that it is so precise, right? It cannot also happen that it is zero error. Right? I don't know. Anyone working in the analytics field, there is something called confusion matrix. That really confused what is the matrix is right? But Lord's analytics and plan so precise. It cannot say that, oh, no, sometimes, I wear dhoti kurta, right? And I committed some offense. And later on, I wear a kind of a three-piece suit, and Lord will not recognize me. Can it happen? It is so precise, right? And somebody might say that, no, no, no. You see, we'll ensure that, these parents will have a genetical identical twin. Okay, genetically they are perfect, but why their personalities are different? Who is witnessing? Who is orchestrating that? To get different personalities out of the same parents with the same biological genes. How it is possible? Who is doing that? Who is doing all the math? Who is doing all the notes? Who is maintaining all the database? Who is maintaining that infrastructure? Rohit, Rohit is our infrastructure manager for GM. He wants to mind something. Who is maintaining the infrastructure of this such a giant, data center? Right? And who is really witnessing? Who is witnessing that? Anybody have thought of who is witnessing all this, good and bad? Huh? Yes, Lord is saying, Ishvara Sarva Bhutan Hrudadese Arjuna Deshchate Sarve Sachaham Hrudi Sannivishto. Lord is saying that I am in everybody's heart. I am there everywhere. Aham Sarvasyato Matu Sarvam Pravartate. Yamam Pasyate Sarvatra Sarvam Jam Pasyate. I am there everywhere. I am really witnessing what is really happening. I really take account of all. Right? I don't need, like in a code, there are so many supporting staffs are there, right? To witness, to note, put all the evidence. Lord is saying that, yes, I'm really taking a note of everything. That's why Lord is saying in 13th chapter, Upadrashta means I'm the overseer. Anumantaja Bhakta 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 Maheshwara Paramatmeti Chapi Yukta Devesmin Purusha Para. Yes, Lord is a Paramatma. He is really witnessing, right? In whichever place, whichever body, whichever situation we might be. And now the next question we might ask that. But sometimes, I didn't know that, right? Whatever good or bad thing we do, that will really come back to us. right? Right? Sometimes, let's say, you go to US and say that no, in India we do kind of left-hand driving, and if you do that left-hand driving there, and the cop catches you, can you say that? No, I didn't know that rule. Yeah. Can you say that? Right? Just ignorance of the law, right? Ignorance of the law is a good excuse so that the rule would not be applied to you. And I remember, right after I passed out of my degree, then I joined the civil school where, right, my friend Lenin and myself, we were staying in Andheri. Our office was in Worli, and somehow we spoke to our landlord and they said, oh, how to go? Like, yeah, it's quite a far, right? And you have multiple options. Either you can take a bus or you can take a taxi. But usually, in Bombay, what do? We take local. Right? Is it okay? You go to Andheri and you kind of Andheri and you take that west right, that rail and then you can get down with the elephant stone. And then we just kind of went to this Andheri station, and then we saw that there were so many trains coming from Virar and Borivali. All the trains were so full, right? And we didn't know how to kind of go inside that. Especially in Bombay, they say that everybody goes inside the train just like when there is a diamond inside, and everybody also comes out of the train with the snake inside. It is so crowded. Right? And we were just thinking what to do. They were not going to enter. Right? And then we realized, there is one compartment which is relatively empty. And both of us said, oh, this really seems to be empty. Let's go inside. We just went inside. And then after some point of time, the ticket collector came. And I asked, what is the ticket? And we sold our ticket. And then he said, this is second class ticket. And this is the first class bogie. But we didn't know that, right? Like, this is the first class bogie, and this is the second class ticket. This got a ticket, and we just entered inside because it was empty. And then they say, what did he say? Now you know. Now you pay the fine. So we might have done this again. Either you pay the price for the first class ticket, right? Or you have to go in the second class only. Right? So, like, always, right, our ignorance, cannot be the excuse for our wrongdoing. We cannot say that, oh, I didn't know that if I kind of hurt somebody, I will also get that back. Like most of the people, they do some violent activities. They feel that they can escape out. They know that there is nobody really watching that, and they will really, get a free hand out of it. Like, yes, because of our ignorance, we do sinful activities, and then we suffer it so much, right? That we cannot really take that as an excuse that we can really get out of it. So now, this is a little technical, but we need to really also understand is how does this law of karma work? Right? Why we really suffer? Why we really suffer? Let's kind of give one example. Let's say if I am planning to go from here to, let's say, Delhi, I have to catch a flight from the airport. So what I do, I dial or I kind of check the app, either Ola or Uber, right? Once I select this is my from, this is my to, right, and I select the right, either it's a what is it, sedan, whatever it is, and then I request. Once I request, and then the app aggregator or the engine or whatever you say or the driver, accepts. And once it accepts, then the taxi kind of gets parked in front of our house. So what happens? First, I desire, then somebody else sanctions based on my design, based on my plan, and then the vehicle comes in front of our house, which executes, which really takes us to the airport. Is it clear? There were three doors were there. How many doors? Three doors. One is that somebody desires, then somebody sanctions, and somebody executes. So similarly, in this whole universal phenomenon also, so whatever is happening is because the soul, right, is a living entity who really desires that, okay, right, I want to, let's say, study hard, or I want to, right, become a billionaire, or I want to steal, right, whatever, right? Even these so bad things also. Sometimes even parents, they also allow that, okay, you want to test how the fire is so heavy, okay, they will give a little bit of matchstick, okay, just try it out. And then you know, oh, it's too dangerous. Right? Because if first the parents tell them, don't do it, but if still the child insists, no, 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 give a kind of a little bit on fire, okay, you test it out. Sometimes father unwillingly kind of answers, right? And then, right, the material nature, the prakriti, that really gets executes, right? So at the same time, can I say that, oh, taxi, right? You also came with me, so now you also you also pay the bill. Can we share that taxi bill? No, because of your desire, he helped you in executing. Because most of the times we say that no, 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 right? Like whatever I am suffering, it's all because of some situation. Oh, because of this person, because of that person, I am suffering. No, they are the instruments. They are the instruments of our karma. They are just executing the karma because of the higher plan. Because of, as you said that, that small movie clip that we saw, it came, might be in a different way. Somebody might be, else, someone or something, could be the instrument. But it's all started, desired from you. You triggered it. Is it clear? Huh? Okay, so now, most frequently asked question. Why does bad things happen to good people? And then does really this bad and good, right? They nullify each other. If I do some bad activity, right? And then later on I do a kind of break the coconut, right? In front of some devata. Or maybe I do some right, do some nonsense things and I kind of start opening a jala chhatra. I distribute water, free water to somebody. Right? I give 21 rupees as a lakshina to some festival. Does that really nullify each other? Huh? Why? What do you think? That's what people do. No, 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 no. मैंने अभी इतना पाप कर दिया तो चले मैं एक लोडिया एक नारियल एक छोड़ देता हूँ या चला 21 रुपया की दक्षिणा दे देता हूँ. That's what especially um, like in this Abrahamic society also, like they said in the Saint Peter's Church is the most famous church that is there in Vatican City. They said that's really come out like that, right? Like a lot of people were being told that whatever the sin you do throughout the week, on Saturday you come and you just pay something. It's a confession charge, like $30 for this mistake, $40 for this one, and $50 for that one. And then so okay, they said, okay, this is what I did the mistake this week. I will pay $30. Somebody will say, no, no, I'll pay $90. Why you are paying $90? You just committed one mistake. No, I'm paying advance. So that's how people are trying to do it. And that's how this big structure has come up. Right? Of course, there is no religion good at that. It's to give the followers, right? That they really create the mess. Right? But what do you think? So I give this example. Right? We say that okay, there are 2 glasses of neem juice and 3 glasses of, let's say, mango juice. Right? Once you put it together, does it become tasteless or it becomes only one mango juice sweet? You get it? Huh? What do you think? Huh? Or let's say you put 2 mango seed plant and you put 3 neem seeds plant. What do you get? Net you get only one neem seeds plant. What do you get it? Huh? You get 5. Is it correct? Are you able to follow? This is very, very important for all of us to realize that. Because somebody says that, no, 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 मैंने इतना पुण्य काम किया हो, लेकिन मैं क्यों सफर कर रहा हूँ इतना? Because yes, Baba, you have done also so many mysterious things also. Okay? So now, but what are the good and bad things we do? What is the duration? What is the time span? Right? One is the reason. Just like earlier we used to go to bank and I want to withdraw some money. right? We put the card in the ATM and you get the money automatically. But if it's maybe sometimes a big amount, right? You put a check, right? Maybe some intercity check from another bank. It takes 3 days or 5 days. Earlier it was 7 days, right? So what do you think? But when you do some activity, when you get back the result, right? Instantaneously or after a day, month, or a lifetime. How does it reset somewhere? Do you ask that question sometimes? Right? Does it reset sometimes? Does it reset? Hmm? Lord is saying that it is really a unlimited, chain of action and reaction. Right? Is an unlimited chain, right? And it extends not only this lifetime, but also that's what we said, right? This lifetime is not all in all. There are many more lifetimes that have existed. There are many more lifetimes that is going to come. So yes, what we are talking about, what we are getting is as a result of the succession of lives. Are you clear so far? Right? Yes, there is something called instant karma. We talked about getting the money from the ATM, and there is something called delayed karma. Like sometimes you see that we get some different seeds we sow. Right? There could be neem seed or mango seed or coconut seed or maybe this mustard seed. Right? They have a different germination time period. Right? Based on the different seeds. Similarly, based on the activities, some of the activities, it has its own cooling period. Right? Like they hear about the Chinese bamboo and there's a fun, right? Sometimes the fun might kind of coming up so fast at some point, but then this Chinese bamboo, you might be thinking that it is not coming, not coming, not coming. After 5 years, it becomes 80 feet, right? And at that point, you can say, oh, why? How it came? From where it came? Right? There's a very nice example. Like is there in Mahabharata? In Mahabharata, Duryodhana was asking Vidura, oh Vidura, why am I suffering so much? Right? I'm so blind, and my 100 sons will die. And in this lifetime, I have not committed any mistake. Why is it happening to me? What was Vidura's answer? It is said in Mahabharata that Vidura answered, around 50 lifetimes back, you had cruelly, killed 100 birds, 100 baby birds of a mother bird, and you made that mother bird was blind. That's what you did in 50 lifetimes back. And then Rudra said, how can it really happen that 50 lifetimes, who remembers, right? If somebody does it 50 lifetimes, why Lord kind of give the results so after so many lifetimes? And then the Vidura is saying that, to get even 100 children, that you need to do have some Sukruti. Right? Now, doing Sukruti for so many lifetimes, now you get the 100 sons, and now they are being killed. Right? So, yes, this is the one, that's what I was saying. It is so complex to understand. Because most of the times, we don't remember what happened yesterday, or what happened past week, or past month, or past year, or past decade. Forget about it, these so many lifetimes. Right? But yes, that's why they say that these lots slow grind, but they grind slowly, but they really come back, they're very fine tuned. So now, do you get the result? Do you know the answer to this one? Why do bad things happen to good people? Why? Yes, yes. It's a nice another example we gave. You must have seen. How many of you are there in our Janmashtami? Janmashtami, we had a Matati stalls where we had put a grains silo, right? And they were just putting nice grain on top of it, and then the coarse grain was coming on the below because somebody else had put the coarse grains in the bottom, right? Right? And because somebody else had put the coarse grains earlier, even though we are putting good grains, from the bottom, the coarse grains are coming up, right? And after some point of time, somebody else puts the coarse grains, the fine grains comes out. So it's not that, why I'm putting fine grain and coarse grain coming out. It takes its own time to really go through that cycle. Right? Okay, so that's what we say that we can't escape the consequences of an action. It's a very beautiful verse. It says, "Yatha dhenu sahasresu vatsa vinanti mataram, tatha purvakulam karma kartanam purvachati." A calf can find its mother cow even if there may be thousands of cows. Similarly, the consequences of an action can search its viewer unmistakably. That's what we discussed today. Whatever dress we might wear or whatever way we speak, it will recognize that yes, you are the same person, you are the same soul, you are conquered this good or bad. So now the question is, okay, now I know that it's not good, but still, why I am forced to do something which is bad? Huh? I know that, like some people they say that, like I know that drinking is bad, or I know that smoking is bad, but why they are forced, to act in a certain way? They know that, like now, if I kind of push it like this, it will come back to me. But why they kind of have that inclination to push there? Why does it happen? Yes, very good. Not able to control the desire. That's the same question Arjuna asked, to Krishna. That अथ केन प्रयुक्तयं पापं चरति पुरुष अन्निच्छेनापि वार्ष्णेय बलादिव by force, who is really kind of pushing us to do the sinful activities. And this is a very beautiful verse. Please repeat after me. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha कामोदेषु क्रोधेश रजगुणसमुद्भवान् महासनो महापापान् विद्धि एलम् इह वैरिणाम्. Yes, the root cause of all that, what we discussed, is our desire, our propensity to enjoy. Right? Enjoy money. That is the root cause of our suffering. That is the root cause through which we are getting triggered again and again to suffer, to do that sinful activity again. If two persons, right, maybe passing by a bar, right, and one person gets so much of drag, to go to that bar, and one person becomes indifferent, he just walks by. How does it happen? Why that one person is really, forcibly dragged, to that bar, and another person he becomes indifferent. He's not, affected by that. Why? Right? Yes, because he has that strong tendency to enjoy. But from where that strong tendency comes up? We just prepared this slide yesterday, right? And just to give you this example. Because it's a little technical, but so what happens? Like maybe somewhere it starts, but let's say the starting point is that there is a kind of thought comes to your mind or somebody's mind. Oh, I need some money. So if you need money, what should I do? Maybe I should get something quick, right? Should I steal now? Right? That's a kind of a proclivity or the tendency, comes. But then after that, the proclivity or the propensity, right, or the tendency, becomes more and more stronger, becomes a strong desire. Then you make a plan out of it. Oh yes, I will do it. I will steal from this house this day, with this instrument, at this point of time, take a plan out. And then after that, it does that simple activities, and then, oh, I got so much money. And there could be two results out of it. One is that you're getting caught by the police and you are bitten black and white, right? Or otherwise, somehow you escape out of it, right? But then, you don't stop there. You develop more strong desire. Okay, I was successful here. Let me do something bigger, right? Then once again, you have another kutam, right? Another strong tendency. Then you make a bigger plan, and then you do that, and then you really go in a cycle. Does it make sense? That's what we call something called prarabdha karma or prarabdha karma. Prarabdha karma means you are getting the reactions out of my sinful activity right now. And somebody is having some disease, somebody is really kind of maybe some court cases, somebody is really, in a chronical problem, right? That's all. That's a prarabdha karma. I'm really getting the reactions out of my past sinful activities, right? And some, it might happen that I might be doing so many sinful activities, I might not be getting the result right now. It is getting accumulated in my prarabdha karma, right? Yes, they say, right, like in some places, like in the US West Coast, right, it is lying in a very strong earthquake region. And they say that the longer, right, it will take to come up, the more intense it will be. Huh? You have heard that, right? So you cannot say that like, it is bound to come. This earthquake is bound to come. The longer it takes, the heavier it will be, the more catastrophic it will be. Similarly, it is not that okay, right? I do commit some mistake and I'll not get any result out of it. I'll not get a reaction to it. It will get multiplied, it will come with interest. It will come with interest, but it will come for sure. Nobody can escape out of it. Right? And that's why sometimes you might not realize, but yes, the Lord is taking count of each and everything. Are you okay so far? Any questions? Okay. Now, can you tell me what are the different types of karma? So like today, our discussion is more in a Q&A based session, right? So that to make it simpler for us to understand. So now, can you tell me what are the different kinds of karma you come? What are the different kinds of karma? Anybody can tell?
Prarabdha karma.
Okay, that's like prarabdha means like you get a reaction out of it. But like usually we say it's a good or bad karma, right? In general, right? What do you think? Is it a good karma or bad karma? Huh? How many of you say bad karma? Please raise your hand. How many of you say good? Okay, why you are saying it is good?
The person is written bad.
Yes.
That person might have done something bad, or he is doing something serious.
Okay. Okay. Now, please answer this one. How many of you say this is good? Whatever we see right now is good. You say good. Why it is good? Okay, good to say good. Tell this good. Okay. Why you said it is bad? Who said bad? Anybody said bad? Yes. Why you said bad? No, here we are talking about the second slide now. Anybody says bad?
The charity can be bad.
Yes.
It might make a person not willing to work. Yes, he can do.
Okay. Okay. Why true is bad? That's it. That's very good, right? So once again, right, in the previous slide, you got it correctly, right? It really depends on the context. So that's why in our scriptures are more context driven rather than focusing on the content, right? So here also, right, you talk about that example, right? Like if a soldier is on the border and if he's really fighting, really killing the opposite army, he's doing good. He'll be given a chakra, right? Or if somebody has really done something nonsense activities, the police, it's a duty to really beat him. But at the same time, the same soldier comes back and really kind of, kills the neighbor or kills the colleagues, then he is getting punished. Right? It really depends on the context. Right? And here, in this case, yes, truth is good. Something we should speak the truth, we should give charity, to others, for the upliftment of others. But let's say in the charity, if you give a charity to a terrorist organization, is it good or bad? Right? Like or if is somehow a group of hooligans, kind of chasing one young girl, right? And he was standing there, and somehow the girls kind of wants to take some shelter at your house, and then hooligans will ask, did that girl kind of enter your house? Will say truth or will say something like, what do you say? Like, so it really depends on the context. Once again. But then our Acharya is saying that there are 4 activities which are always bad. Do you know what are they? Dyutam Pana Striyasuna. Intoxication, meat eating, illicit sex, and gambling. How many of you feel So, or how many of you disagree to this one? It is called Tyutam, gambling. Pana is our intoxication, right? And Striya, like having an affair, the premarital or extramarital affair, whatever it could be, or swimming, like the meat eating.
But doctors say we don't get.
Yes. Okay. Okay. Actually, I didn't want to go to that discussion, but if you force me, I will kind of just very quickly go to that part. And I will also send you an article also. Okay. I'll send you an article also. I'll send you a very detailed article as well. Okay. Very fast I'll go. Some of these scenes will be very disturbing as well. Okay. So please bear with me. I'll go very fast. It's a very big seminar that we do with. Right? So there are 100 reasons why you should be a vegetarian. The first one starts. We are what we eat. There is from the anatomy perspective, the way our body is designed, manufactured by the Supreme Lord. Does it really mean to a herbivore? What is a herbivore? Who takes grass. And what is a carnivore? Who takes flesh. So is our body designed to eat meat or to eat ghas? Okay. So now, right? What do you think? Is a carnivore or a herbivore? Where do kind of our body match more? Okay. So now point by point, the way our teeth has been there, like the incisor teeth. So for carnivore, it's pointed. For herbivore, it is flat. And you see what is a human teeth. It's canines. How for carnivore, it's a long and sharp. But for herbivore, it is dull and sharp. You see, it's aligned with humans. And same with molars, and the way they chew, right? The carnivores they don't chew, but herbivores they chew, and we do the same, right? And the facial muscles, right? Or the jaw motion, right? Or the saliva, right? How for carnivores it's acidic because they have to digest, all the things, and for herbivores, right, to digest carbohydrates, right? You have alkaline, saliva. And the stomach acidity, right? You say, now for carnivores, it is so acidic, like pH less than 1, and for herbivores, it's 4 to 5, right? And how, right? If you take the uh, fleshy things, right? For carnivores, it is small intestine is very small. That's why all the bad things really come out very fast. But that's the reason if the uh, fleshy things stays longer in our body, it creates so many diseases. Because it's not meant to be this. Because herbivores, it's like this is so long, it's like human being. SM or colon, like the perspiration, right? Nails, right? How the herbivores, they have flat nails, and the carnivores, they have sharp jaws. Are you clear with the anatomy perspective? So okay, we are going to vegetarian. Now from the nutrition perspective, what doctors are saying, right? Can vegetarian food ensure a good diet? Right? Some people they say that, oh, if I don't eat meat, I like protein, right? From where elephant is getting his energy and the power from? How? Okay, right? Because I haven't seen that he never eating meat, right? Or like this is because we believe more on the science coming from the West. This is from the Marketing Institute in Germany. They say that most vegetables, fruits, seeds, nuts, grains, they are excellent sources of protein. And what is the effect of the meat on the health? Right? Yes, and this heart disease is the number one killer, and 50% is responsible, right? It's because of the meat. 90 to 97% of heart diseases can be prevented, right, by a vegetarian diet, right? And because excess protein cannot be stored, it must be excreted through kidneys, and it is a very taxing process for the brains, for the human beings. And the second, apart from heart diseases, for the cancer, right? All of once again, this research says that cooked meat and fish contain more carcinogens, cancerous effect, right? Than the vegetables, right? And they say that because meat contains 14 times more chemicals and pesticides than the plant foods, right? And even how the US in the insurance industry they spend so much of money, right, to take care of these diseases related to the meat eating. So another reason for to be then we are not convinced. Okay, let me give you one some more reason. Okay, people say that okay, oh, people are dying out of hunger, so let's give them meat. But it is some through research, you know, that meat consumption in rich countries is the key cause for hunger around the world. Because with the 16 kg can really feed 20 people, which goes to produce 1 kg of beef, can feed only maybe 2 people. Right? Similarly, they have kind of, people have written a lot of books around it. How 1 acre of land can really, produce maybe only 250 pounds of beef or 40,000 pounds of potatoes, right? And how the US farmland is really, being kind of utilized, right, for beef making industry. That's another statistic. They say that this 100 million people can be adequately fed uh, if the land freed by meat producing by just a mere 10%, right? And this is the kind of huge mind-boggling statistics. An average American, in a 72 lifetime, he eats so many, right? Right? And we know that, right? Like if you want to reduce the malnourishment and you want to reduce the poverty, what do you have to do? So if everyone adopted a vegetarian diet, current food production would be theoretically fit 10 billion people, more than the projected population for the year 20. So there's one more reason to be. So now it's stronger. Okay, now still, this is a very, very disturbing photos. So I'll go really fast. If there is a, let's say, school planning to take the kids, the students, right, to a study tour or a school tour, they will take to a garden or they will take a slaughterhouse. Where do they take? Garden. Yes, because it is so disturbing, right? I'm not really going in detail, but how it is said that we have enslaved the rest of the animal creation and have treated badly so that we if they will form a religion, they will form and they will say that who is the devil? This human species is the real devil, right? And the way they kind of commit so many sinful, right? So from the cruelty perspective, there is a need to be a. So now we also know that okay, somebody said, oh, you see, but everybody takes non-veg. I also took non-veg. What is the problem with it? But then we see that so many, so many eminent personalities. How, right? They follow also the vegetarian diet, right? Right. So whether you talk about the east or west, right? Or there are so many, right? Even so-called, wrestlers of the body builders, right? Or even the fastest person, right? All of Bangalore boys, cricket world, right? All of them, right? And this is right. One of the founder of McDonald. What he says: I brainwash youngsters into doing wrong, and I want to say sorry to the children. Because all of us know that if you do some research, you find out that how this McDonald is really ruining, right, our generations and generations of our kids, right? So there is now enough reason to be. And now whatever we see, right, with the war and terrorists and all that, it all starts from there. Man suppresses in himself unnecessarily highest spiritual capacity that is humanity toward living creatures like himself. And by violating his own, killing his own first word. It is a fact that meat eating reduces respect for all kinds of life, including that of humans. And that during this war also we have seen that how people, right, even they didn't even the children also, and how they really tortured them. Can we die? Can you deny the brutality against animals? Right? Right. So right, those that kill animals to eat their flesh tend to massacre everyone. Right? So yes, we get the karmic consequences of it. By killing animals, not only we deprive of the human form, but also we have to take another animal and somehow be killed by the same kind of this is the law of nature. That's why the flesh is called mamsa. What is the meaning of mamsa? Mamsa khati iti mamsa. That is, I am now eating the flesh of an animal who will eat someday in the future, be eating my flesh. Okay, there are so many quotes, so many reasons, right? In the contrary, right? Somebody also might say that, okay, don't you think that plants and trees also have the souls? Is it okay for us to die, eat the plants? What do you say? What do you say?
You can grow more plants, but you cannot keep that.
Yes, okay. What else? Yes, like even while breathing, right? There are so many, bacteria, viruses, germs that goes inside and get killed. Can you stop breathing? No, it's called Jiva Jiva sa Jivanam, right? For one living being to survive, another person may have to sacrifice. At the same time, what Lord is saying uh, that we give that example, right? That if the soldier really fighting on the battlefield or fighting with the neighbors or the colleagues, right? Uh, so if we do it under the instruction of the authority, right, that is granted. Right? But if you know don't follow the laws of the Lord, then it is violated. So similarly, Lord is saying that yes, if uh, like we are not specifically talking about the plants and the fruits and the roots. Usually, we try as much as possible not to kill the plants. We take fruits, vegetables, and we don't kill. And even if we really take out the leafy vegetables out of it, then we consider like they are having the lower consciousness. And then we are also not vegetarians. Mind you, we are also not vegetarians. We are all prasaditarians. We are Krishna prasaditarians. We first offer it to the Lord, then we accept it, right? But is it possible that okay, we can offer this meat substances also to the Lord? And the Lord is very clear, I take only fruits and vegetables. That's what Lord says in Bhagavad Gita. What Lord says? Patram puspam phalam toyam yadi bhaktya prayachati tadam bhaktya upavritam asnami prayadat. Lord says that okay, I only take leaf, flower, fruit, this water only. So we cannot, we cannot take that. So first of all, we have to take what is sanctioned, and then second, we have to take which is sanctified, and third, which is regulated. Right? First, what is sanctioned? Sanctioned means yes, not by killing animals, by taking the fruits and vegetables. That is sanctioned. Sanctified means only after offering to the Lord, because Lord says, once you offer it to the Lord, Lord takes away, right? All the sinful activities, whatever was done, Lord removes that. Lord immunizes that, right?